Hi, my name is Morphsuit America. I do a good chunk of PSO2 content. I do Japanese PSO2, and I do a good chunk of augments and affixes. However, this video, as you can see in the thumbnail and title, is a challenge video for myself and those who are interested. The entire point of this video is to prove that you can use basic equipment, easy to get, easy to access equipment to go through some ultra hard difficulty. Now, in all honesty, I would say get better equipment than the stuff that I'm wearing because it will help you tremendously. But this is to prove that you don't need the best equipment to do a lot of the ultra hard content because there's other factors when it comes to you getting through it, especially when it comes to battle experience and just having decent equipment. You don't need the best augments and affixes, and I'm going to demonstrate that in this video. So here's the limitation, and this is the maximum sort of equipment you can use. You can only use the Novo units, the ones that you can get from the Bass Shop. Now, this one is from the Japanese free event that had happened over here. They gave free 6-slot Novo units. These units were used to try to upgrade and liberate, but I left it as it is. Over here on the Japanese PSO2 in the Weapon Bass Shop, our Novo units are pretty much at a 5-slot. The only difference with them and this one is they don't have an arm 3. This one I did put an SSA, but that's not going to help me at all because that particular SSA as class ability is it's designed for fighters with limit break, and that would help them a lot more than someone like me playing on Phantom. So if I go over here, once again, this is going to be different from global, but the big point of me using these is that it is an easy to access, easy to get weapon and unit. And I'm going to use this to do, guess what? Solo T Profound Darkness trigger. And I'm going to do it on ultra hard with this gear. Now, it's going to be difficult for me because of the class that I'm doing and the specific weapon and the stuff that I'm wearing. Even though it's a 6-slot, doesn't mean jack shit against something like ultra hard difficulty. Even if it's a 13-star with 13-star that grinded out to plus 10, there's still going to be some issues. And once again, you also got to consider the class because this class isn't as tanky. If I show you guys the overall stats of this character, you can see that it does give me a good chunk of defense, but it's not as much. And I am once again playing on Phantom, and Phantom isn't that tanky compared to like a Twal or Hunter. What I'm going to do now is show you guys my skill tree. If you want to pause the video so you can look at it, go ahead. Note that I am at max level with this particular character. They are at 100, but that shouldn't be a huge deal in terms of what you guys have over there for max level. Like you guys are level 95. Only 5 level difference. You get a bit of stats, you get a bit of extra skill points, but pretty much that's it. Now you can get something close to my build, but all in all, this video is to emphasize on battle experience, minimal equipment, and just knowing how to play your particular class to get through something like Profound Darkness, the solo trigger on ultra hard. I'll be honest with you guys, this is hell for me because I haven't fought against the ultra hard version a bunch, and yeah, it's been ages since I actually fought this guy. So I'm gonna skip over the cutscene. Everything's gonna be raw footage, so you're gonna hear me play a certain song on repeat. I apologize if you're not a big fan of that, but I'm gonna keep it as it is because I don't want to edit things out and let you guys think that I decide to cheat my way or the multiple retakes and stuff. So I'm gonna use once again these units. I am gonna have rings. I'm using the critical strike ring one at 20, and then the phantom bomb run. Phantom bomb lock on one. If you want to, you can technically put rings on these, but once again, if you're only doing this for a temporary challenge and stuff, you can see that I don't even have rings on this. You can have other weapons too, but they gotta be novel for this sort of challenge. Unless you want to get a different weapon that's not at a 15 stars. So the maximum is pretty much 15 stars, but the novel weapon series. If you use any other weapon, you could technically use some lower grade weapons, but that's up to you. Anyway, I'll talk about this a bit later, or after I complete my own run. I'll explain a bit more about these various details and how to kind of challenge yourself in the difficulty threshold and all that. So for me, my objective is to try to pass this. Now, if I do die and I want to use a half doll, so be it. Once again, it's been a while since I fought against him, but the point is to try to pass this trigger with what I have. If I'm able to do it without dying, great, but I don't think I'll be able to get an S rank if this is time, because this equipment, even if it's like a 15-star weapon and I got 13-star units, it's gonna be difficult. And once again, with the particular class I'm using, it's just gonna be it's gonna be challenging. So you might have an easier time with some other build and with some other class, but for me, I'm specifically doing it with the rifle on Phantom. Anyways, enough of my chit chat. Let us get started. Once again, I'm not gonna be talking as much. I'll be playing music. I advise you to be careful since I'm gonna be blasting it in a few seconds, but that is it. You'll see me once I complete this challenge.
Break it up. 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 Break it up.
Oh my fucking god. That was intense. In all honesty, that I'm shaking right now. Once again, I was squishy. There's like several instances where I could have died in that, but I only used this. Apparently I had this. I didn't need that, but I only used this and this. So, that was my challenge. To just use Novo weapon and units. Holy shit. That was, I don't think I got an S rank for sure. That took that took a bit longer. And in all honesty, if you were really good, like really good, I know a couple people who could do a bit better than me on Phantom Rifle. Like, they would capitalize on the dodge, they would capitalize on those counters and get a bit more DPS and clear it a bit faster. But for me, the challenge was to make sure, you know, I passed it, but the other thing was I didn't want to die. I didn't want to actually use a half moon and stuff. And this one, yeah, this one was shaky. Now, once again, I was using a class that is quite fucking squishy. No goddamn lie, because Phantoms, they don't have a lot of the tankiness to go up against some of that stuff. But as you can see, if you know what the fuck you're doing, you can use the basic equipment to actually go through it. So, I don't want any excuses. If you guys have basic equipment, you could technically do this. as you can see, I got a beam from that. I don't fucking care. I passed it with what I have. Now, most likely, if you guys go for a different class, then yeah, that's a different story. But anyways, so here's my challenge. Well, actually, before I go into that snippet, let me actually show you guys where you can get this equipment, because that's what you might be wondering. Where can you get this? And note that I did use the same equipment to actually go through the extreme quest over here, the new one, which drops a bunch of returner and crack abilities, specifically returner though. Let's give you this extreme quest over here. I will have a giant montage video showing all these things where I actually go solo and use basic equipment. Yeah, Worlds Beyond, this one. This thing is a monster with just this equipment. It is possible to do it. And most likely, if you guys want, I could try to do the Earth Trigger on Ultra Hard with the same equipment. But if you're wondering where you can get this, it's both in global and the Japanese PSO2. You do need to farm up these certain currencies for Japanese PSO2. Best way would be to do the emergency quests and featured quests. Same can be said with global, except for global, I think you guys want to farm the urgent quest in your mission pass, battle pass, so you can get these badges. Pretty much, we have a 2020 over here. This is where you can get the noble weapons and then the units as well. You will need a good 1,100 medals, but you know, farm the game and you'll get them. So here's my challenge. The first thing is to just use this. Like, if you decide to use this with whatever class, then that's pretty standard in terms of the difficulty. The next difficulty right after that in the challenge would be to actually not use a successor class. Pretty much use episode 1. Well, ignoring successor class and the summoner class, you will pretty much use episode 1 through 3. So if you really want a challenge, don't use a successor class. You would want to, and summoner. Summoner can actually cheese it if you know what you're doing and the certain pets. But the episode 1 through 3 classes, if you want it to be a challenge, would be Bouncer, Braver, Techer, Force, Gunner, Ranger, Fighter, Hunter. Pretty much the first 8 classes you see here. If you use one of those classes, that's going to amp up the difficulty. Or if you use these classes in whatever combination you want, then so be it. But still, the rule applies. This equipment, it has to be the novel set. Now, in terms of anything that's not novel, it's pretty much anything below a 15-star. This is pretty much the standard in terms of the 15-star weapons you can at least use. That's the maximum, actually, not minimum, maximum. If you decide to go 14 stars or even a 12-star unit set and want to prove that you can actually beat solo, Profound Darkness, Ultra Hard with that, then yeah, go ahead and do it. And if you want to, you can show me, or you can record it and send me your links or videos of your completion and challenge. It has to be unedited though, because if you do edit it, there's going to be a chance that, you know, you might have what is it? You might have done like what is it? You might have cut something out or something. No edits. It has to be raw footage. This is pretty much raw footage as it is. And note that I repeat and say stupid shit sometimes, and I kind of want to delete it and stuff, or like edit it out, but nah, this one's gonna be left unedited. The point is, once again, is to just use basic equipment that anyone can try to get eventually, and then do that for Ultra Hard. Now, would I really want to use this almost all the time? Hell no. If I have something better, then use that instead. But the point is, if I'm able to use this, there's no excuse for some stuff that I've been hearing for global. But then again, you know, people are gonna play the game how it is, but it shouldn't be as bad. Like, you can technically play a lot of the end game stuff with basic equipment. You just need to capitalize on a lot of other things. And also, when it comes to basic augments and affixes, you don't really need to worry about the stuff that's already on here. The one thing I will capitalize on, especially for weapons, is how to actually do SSAs, how to manipulate that. And once again, I did advertise that I think I advertised that video in the beginning, that I already did breaking it down. So if I wanted to get this Liberate rifle with something decent, let's say I have a Atlas EX and I want to put Vampiric Strike on the Novel, then you technically can. Or let's say you have a couple abilities that drop that might interest you. So what I would do is find whatever has the S4 ability. Novel weapons can only have S4 abilities, mind you. And some of these S4 abilities are locked behind something. If I wanted to, I could try to do this S4 Vampiric Strike, try to get it to carry over to my what is it, my rifle, but I took that out. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, I'm shaky. I'm done with this video. I got a B rank. It's not an A, but the thing is, I was able to use the basic equipment to actually get through it, and I didn't even die with this. So it did take me a bit of tries though to actually do it. I did do two of them off recording, but yeah, it was just getting back into it. Yeah, you may want to have a bit of practice. You may want to spend a couple medals to do it, but like this is my challenge, and this is my proof that hey, if I can do it, you guys could do it as well. And if you're able to do it with even lesser grade stuff, and you want to show off and say like, "Hey, Morph, I can totally do this with this shit," then go ahead and do it. I give you a thumbs up. And if you wanna, once again, record it and send it to me, look in the description. There will be my Discord down there, and I will most likely open up a section where you guys can put your videos in there. Anyways, that is it. Yeah, I know I repeated myself a bunch of times. If you have any questions, comment, concerns, put it down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.